r/TooAfraidToAsk. Particular Fox 7290 says, is it shallow to prefer a circumcised man? I've been with both, but I found that uncircumcised men were always smelly, unless they were freshly showered, and it turned me off. I just feel like I can get way more aroused with a circumcised man. Kirenistum says, no, it's not bad to have preferences, although I do have to say, as someone who is uncircumcised, I never let it get smelly. If it's smelly, that means they don't wash under it, which is just gross and not okay. Dad Sander Boyce says, everyone has preferences and 6 things they are attracted to. It's normal. Resist Racism says, I mean, as someone uncircumcised I take no offense. This does make me want to wash my pages more though. At least my wife is okay with my uncircumcised pages. She at first wanted me to get circumcised because most Filipinos are circumcised. But that was something I refused to do. It freaking hurts. If she was going to make it a deal breaker, I would have called it off. Lee Shippo says, is it shallow to have a personal preference? No. Polly_Frolicher says, it is shallow to think that all uncircumcised men are smelly. I'm sorry you met a couple who were, and now have that in your head. Circumcision is, in most cases, genital mutilation without patient consent, and should not be standard practice for any civilized society. Come at me religious folks, I won't answer you though, because it is what it is. I have found no significant difference in taste, smell, or quality of sex between cut and uncut men, but have dealt with painful scar issues only in cut men. Detective Signal says, it's not shallow, but it may be a little nonsensical. If you like someone, does it really matter if they have some extra, natural, skin on their penis? Unfortunately for us Americans, assuming you're American, it's all we really know, and so an uncircumcised penis is weird or different, and a lot of people don't like weird or different when it comes to sex. You can prefer whatever you'd like to, but don't reduce men to the skin on their penis. Bandexpelerina says, do you really have a preference against uncircumcised men, or do you have a preference against men with bad hygiene? I guess it's not shallow, but an odd thing to be concerned about. Like it would also be weird for a man to be concerned about the appearance of your labia. r/TooAfraidToAsk. Butchtinka says, when a surgeon opens up a patient in the, or, particularly involving the body cavity, is there an odor of any kind that is noticeable? Rissing Quinks says, nothing really bad, unless it's something like burning flesh, or dealing with an issue that tends to have bad smells. The usual smell is just the metallic scent of blood. Butchtinka says, that's amazing, thanks for answering. I was expecting a smell like meat or something, no justification in particular. Korshiar Skankle says, I feel like raw meat doesn't usually smell like anything, or smell bad unless it's rotting. Justin Leaplant says, I just asked my sister who's a surgeon and she actually found the question amusing. She says, yes, oh yes, it depends on whether the gut is exposed, but the whole body smells, from the liver, to the gallbladder, to the heart, and well blood. A bad heart will smell much worse. I was once in the OR, and smelled algae like from a lake apparently. When a heart has high metabolic activity it produces nitrogenous waste which smells kinda like an aquarium. Butchtinka says, my mind is genuinely blown. So you can smell the health of organs. For the record, this question came to me in the shower out of nowhere, but assumed that if the body can smell from the outside then there must be concealed odors on the inside too. Justin Leaplant says, yeah, she said healthy organs don't really smell, but sick ones do. Gallbladders have a smell when the bile and stones build up, livers when they have cirrhosis, intestines, obviously. Traumatic brain injury patients even have a distinct smell too. Result for 3234 says, nope. There's the smell of cauterized flesh sometimes from the electrosurgical instrument that they use to help keep bleeding under control, but nothing from the body itself, unless you have something wrong with you. X. Dead pancreas is one of the worst smells ever. rar_im_er_duck says, not that I've noticed, but my experience is limited to a couple placements as a student. The smell I do remember is the cauterizing flesh and sawing bone. The smell when they were doing a hip replacement and sawing through the bone is just awful. r/TooAfraidToAsk. Black11 Ninja says, is my phone showing me ads because of my personal conversation? Okay, so I'm freaking out right now, and I have no idea if I'm just crazy or if this is actually happening. So, few days ago, I stayed in a nice hotel while being on vacation. This hotel had one feature I have never personally seen in my life: smart toilet, like the Japanese ones, which has heated seat and jets of water that clean you up. Nice stuff, I realized, and I loved it right away. Now, day later, I mentioned it to someone in standard, private person-to-person conversation. No texting, no messenger, just by physically talking to someone. And then bam, I open Reddit, and suddenly I'm flooded by ads for smart toilets. Like, the exact ones I have used in that hotel. I never Googled it. I never wrote about it with anyone. I didn't even take a photo of it. And yet, these ads are somehow targeted to me. I have never seen ads for that type of product before. But here they are. Am I crazy? Is this some kind of observational bias? Or is my phone listening to my private conversations and targeting me with specific ads because of it? EastShare4444 says, this is a documented fact. Canada Hoskala says, no, you're not crazy. Me and my family always talk about that shit happens to us too. There are listening ears everywhere. My sister, in person, told me she wished she could find a pink desk for her office. We did not look them up or anything. We were sitting at a table at a restaurant, and she said that, and when I opened my phone like 2 minutes later I turned it around, and it had an ad for Amazon with a pink desk. Flibic Knight 665 says, it's absolutely listening for keywords. Told my spouse over the phone that I was picking up a face sunscreen and had ads for it within 5 minutes of ending the conversation. The weirdest one was when my sister was house sitting for someone with a pet pig. I commented on the huge, fancy, stained wood dog, pig crate, and a few days later the exact same one showed up in my Facebook ads. It was just so specific that it was alarming. Time Spent Will says, yes, lots of people have reported this happening to them. Odd though, I get a lot of ads for erectile dysfunction. I'm an asexual female. Kanato-san says, I think all the phone knows is that you're in the hotel. If I were a Google employee and I had that information, I'd try to advertise things to you based on what cold made you choose that specific hotel. Maybe the smart toilet is advertised as something unique for the hotel. Boom. Observational biases might be at play too. When an ad is inaccurate, we don't pay them much attention and promptly forget all about them very quickly. Can you remember every time you've blinked today? Or at least 10 non-consecutive blinks today? But when the ad is too relevant or hits close to home, they go to the forefront of our minds. That's actually why the companies track you in the first place. Relevant ads make you buy the things they're offering. Bada bing bada boom, money. You might not remember all your blinks, but surely you remember it when one of your eyelashes or some random specks of dirt get in your eye, no? So yeah. r/TooAfraidToAsk. Lsal1 says, how to last longer in penetration. My fiancé and I are very loving towards each other, and she can give me a BJ or hand job, and I can last for several minutes, but if I penetrate her then after a few thrusts then I will literally come so quickly. I have tried slow spraying condoms with the same stuff, but there have been times where they have made me lose my erection. We don't have penetrative sex all the time, but I also assume that the more we have it the more used to it I will get. IDK, I just want us to have a session where I can go long and please us both more that way. Thanks. Eternalcifer says, married for a long time. I have the same issue sometimes. I recently purchased a toy vibrating cock ring. Only used it twice so far, but each time I lasted much longer than usual. They have non-vibrating ones too. Just a ring. It limits circulation down there and helps last longer. I didn't believe it till I tried it. I don't want to go back now. It feels great. Lasts longer. Not sure it works for all but it's worth a try mo. Good luck. A Big Ale says, also to add to this, use a vibrating ring, and when you need a rest, stay in her, and the vibrating bit will be on her clit, so she's still getting pleasured whilst you recuperate. Tikna Reddit says, married for 6 years now. There's a couple things I've found that have helped me last longer. Just having more penetrative sex. Not only did I get more used to the sensation, but my pelvic floor muscles got stronger, which lead to me being able to hold back from finishing longer. Finding the proper sized condom helped a ton. I used to lose an erection when wearing a condom, and when I took it off there would be a red ring at the base of my penis. Turns out that the condom was too small and was cutting off circulation. That caused a loss of blood flow, sensation, and ultimately my erection. I highly recommend the Mr. Size brand of condom. They have condoms ranging from 48ish millimeters up to 70 millimeters. I was wearing a 54 millimeters Lelo Hex, and now I'm in a 60 millimeter Mr. Size. Another thing you can try is getting some toys for your partner and you to use. This could be a cock ring, vibrating or not, a dildo, or a vibrator, clitoral, or G-spot. These things will help get your partner's engine going, and you can slide in right before the finale. Then she's done, and it doesn't matter if you only last 3 pumps. Hope this helps, and best of luck. Clayton Bixby says, masturbate before. As close to having sex as you can, and still get an erection. Jeckaboy12 says, have a second round. The second time around you will last much longer. Masturbate a few hours before sex. Be careful with your breathing. Quick and shallow breaths will make your orgasm faster. Take slow and deeper breaths. Slow down or stop for a moment. Wait for the feeling to pass. Keep the area around your groin relaxed. If you notice you keep flexing your penis a lot, then this is contributing to a faster orgasm. Have frequent sex if your partner is up for it. Over time you get more used to the sensation. Performance anxiety can be a biatch. Don't be stuck in your own head, talking to yourself, like I do not want to orgasm fast, I do not want to. Just focus on her pleasure. Extend the foreplay if necessary. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.